Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I have a Christmas card project for you. I'm in full swing for Christmas cards right now, and maybe on the next one we'll take a break and do something that isn't Christmas, but right now I'm designing Christmas cards right and left. So this one is a fun little different fold, and I got it in a swap in my demonstrator group, and Amy Taylor, who's a very talented stamper in our group, gave me permission to use her card as inspiration to make this Christmas card. So let's just get started. Now Amy's card, this is the card here. Amy's card was a little bit different, and I don't have it handy. I was looking for it this afternoon and couldn't find it. But this is the prototype that I made up as the result of it, and it's a little bit different than the one that she did. And so let me tell you what you need to make this card. I used a base 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 of old olive. Then I used a piece of basic black that is 4 by 5 1/4. Then I have a piece of real red that is 3 3/4 by 5. Then I have a piece that is 8 inches. Just verify this. 8 inches by 2 1/2 inches, scored and folded at 4 inches. Then I have a piece of scrap of old olive and a piece of scrap of white for my sentiment here. Then I have some of this beautiful paper from the Most Wonderful Time, and it's that medley, the product medley that has the stamps, the dies, the paper, the embellishments. It's got all kinds of crazy things in it, and this is one of the papers from there, which I just love. And so I have a piece of that, and then I have a piece of black to go behind that, that is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4, and that's the pieces that we need to make this. So the very first things we can do is take our old olive piece. This one, by the way, says "'Tis the Season" on the outside, and on the inside it says "Merry Christmas" and has this cute little star. So let's see. The first thing we can do is adhere the black piece to this piece, and I'm going to do that with some snail, and just go ahead and put that piece down. There we go. Then this piece I am running through an embossing folder called Stylish Scroll, and that's out of the holiday catalog, and I believe that's in the Halloween suite. But I just love this scroll pattern here, and I've already embossed mine, and here it is. Isn't that just pretty? Very, very pretty. So this one can go down next, and this one has quite a bit of flat surface, but I'm going to put a lot of snail on here because I want this to stick down, but good. So that one is just layered one more time on the inside of this black piece there with enough margin around. Then this piece goes on top here, but first I'm going to attach my papers to it. So the first thing I'm going to do, by the way, this is a very fast card. Once you have your pieces cut, there's a little bit of stamping, but it's a very, very fast card, and I think it's got nice big impact for all of that. So there we go, and then I'm going to put my presents paper on here, and again with some snail and center that right here on this piece of black. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to use my Tombow glue on the back of this because it's going to be on the raised part of the embossing. So I'm just going to make sure we get plenty of glue because this is the part that opens and closes. And we're going to put that inside this, and it's going to fit over the piece of black. So move that in place so that it's on here good and straight, and there we go. Now stamping. I could have probably stamped this and should have before we got started, but that's okay. So on the inside here I have Merry Christmas, and this Merry Christmas comes from Perfectly Plaid, and it's this one. It's a nice bold Merry Christmas, and I'm doing that in red ink, real red. And so I'm going to go ahead and put my Merry Christmas down here, see if I can get away with this. There we go, very nice. And then on the outside I have this piece, or a piece of old olive scrap and a piece of white, and I'm going to do my 'Tis the Season here. And the 'Tis the Season comes from Tidings All Around. Here it is, 'Tis the Season. And I'm going to do that in red, and I don't have all of those cushioned layers there, so I'm going to grab a Pierce mat here to do this one. And again in the real red ink. And I'm going to do this with plenty of room so I can get my die around it. And I'm using the middle two oval dies from the Stitched Shape framelits. So this is what I would do here, and to cut out my sentiments. And I've already got mine cut out. And so here are mine. So I'm going to go ahead and put some snail on the back of this one and set that in place. Making my piece to raise and lower the little card. And I'm going to put some snail on here. In fact, I'm going to use liquid glue. Again, my Tombow, because that is what's going to be holding this card in place. So I want to make sure that it's got lots and lots and lots of glue so we know it'll stick down. All right, so this piece is going to go right on here. Isn't this a fun little card? I just was so taken with it. I was so glad Amy decided to let me do video. She doesn't do videos, so oftentimes if somebody puts up one that's kind of fun, they'll let me use their card for inspiration, and I always like to make sure that they get credit though. So this again was Amy Taylor, and very, very pretty card here. Okay, there we go. I'm going to give that a second to dry, and then we are going to use let's see, on the inside I did have this little star. Okay, I did have the stars cut, and so you need a tiny little piece of red scrap in order to be able to do this. And we're just going to put a little bit of snail on the back of it and pop that into place on the inside of the card. And there we have it. The last piece I had to put in place was a little bit of bling, and I settled on these rhinestones from the Noble Peacock because they have this pretty green that matches the old olive. And so I'm going to take a couple of these rhinestones and put them on the card. So I think I'm just using 3, one on my sentiment, put that one down there, and maybe one of the little bit larger ones right out here on a flat spot on our card base. And there we go. Isn't that fun? And I just love this little card. So simple, and yet it's quite different. So that is my project for the day. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Or you could join my team. It would be lovely to have you on my team. Let's see, my prize draw for the month of September is a bundle of your choice out of the holiday catalog. I've done that for a couple months in a row, but it seems to be really popular. And so that's it for me. I'll be back soon with more products, more cards, and more tips. Bye.